What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 2, Week 9 of the greatest podcast on turf. Our second exclusive segment this week. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
And for this exclusive segment, we're going to be doing our way too early award predictions. Some of these are a little bold, some of them are a little safe, but they're all right.
100% accuracy. We're going to look back on this video next February when the awards show the night right before the Super Bowl, and we're going to see all these are right. So let's jump right into it now. Number one, start out with the most prestigious award, MVP. It's two guys for me. We're just gonna go through, say what we think. We're not really gonna argue about this just because it's really early. We'll do another one at the start of the season where we'll kind of debate more and give reasons why. But this is just before we haven't seen any of these guys play, like for the rookies and stuff. So this is probably maybe subject to change, but it's all 100% accurate. If that makes sense. So I'm gonna just start us off. My MVPs. There's two guys I think this could be. This could be Josh Allen or Justin Herbert. Josh Allen, because Josh Allen was right there behind Aaron Rodgers last year, but Aaron Rodgers had the best year of his career. So you're not going to beat Aaron Rodgers having a career year in an MVP race, no matter who you are, no matter how good of a year you had. Josh Allen looked really good last year. He made a major step up big time. He's due for a big contract extension. He's going to have to earn and prove it again. So, I mean, Josh Allen, he was number 2 last year, so, he's going to be right back there again. And Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert, Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. You look at our past few MVPs, MAHOMES, Lamar, guys who started out their rookie season strong, won MVP the following year, the year after that. Kind of fits the meta, I guess, of Justin Herbert winning it. He's in a very good situation, got a new head coach. He's got a better offensive line. Justin Herbert, he could be in for a very good year, a very great sophomore season.
Yeah, I could see both of those guys, but I kind of went into a different direction. My first, the favorite, probably Pat Mahomes.
He is a favorite.
Pat Mahomes has done it before. Pat Mahomes is the best talent-wise quarterback in the league.
Agreed.
I'm still taking Brady over him, but talent-wise, it's Pat Mahomes.
100%.
And then you got the Chiefs, who have revamped their offensive line. They got Orlando Brown and Joe Thuney, two top five at the position. Creed Humphrey, but two top 5 at the position are Orlando Brown and Joe Thuney. Pat Mahomes is not going to get touched a lot this year. He has tons of time to wait in the back of the pocket for McCole Hardman, speedster, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, a couple of speedsters.
Tyreek Hill's 99
Clyde Edwards-Helaire's second year. I think the team is going to take a big step forward, and I think Pat Mahomes could definitely potentially be an MVP.
And he's already the favorite. He's probably going to be in the conversation every year. So,
for the next 10 years, most likely.
There you go.
The next guy is a little bit more bold, a little bit more out there.
Not going to happen.
Boomer Sooner guy, Kyler Murray. Look, we saw last year, Kyler Murray was on track to do special things until his shoulder injury. I believe it was still his shoulder. Injury hurt him. He was the top, I think he was the best fantasy player until that injury happened, and it kind of plagued him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take the big step forward next year. You got AJ Green, and you got DeAndre Hopkins, you got Rondale Moore, you got Chase Edmonds. They should be able to just air the ball out in the yard. Kyler Murray, I think, is going to take that step forward. I would personally bet on him to win the MVP just because of his odds and how they are. I'm not saying he's the favorite, but I think it would be a potentially good bet. I think he'll take that step forward. Kyler Murray is going to be a top 3 fantasy quarterback this year. The way he can do it on the ground, the way he can do it in the air. The kid's special, and I think the team is going to win.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. You gave out reasonings, but moving on. Defensive Player of the Year. Again, 2 guys for me. Myles Garrett. I think he's due. I kind of contemplated TJ Watt here. But, Myles Garrett, I think he's going to have a good year. He's got Clowney on the other side of him. Their defense is going to be very good. Top 5 in the league, if I had to guess. Their defense held them back last year in the playoffs down the stretch. I think Myles Garrett's in for a very big year. Not much else to say on that. And this is my very, very, very bold one. I said Chase Young. Chase Young, another team, amazing defensive line. Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. They have the best defense in football. Their division, the offensive lines in that division outside of Dallas aren't very good.
That's fair.
Fair. Yeah, Giants aren't very good, and the Eagles can't stay healthy. So, Chase Young, he gets going and has a year I did last year, picks up where he left off and can get some more sacks, tackles for losses, and just wreak havoc how he did, I mean, I think he could definitely be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
Yeah, I could see both of those guys. But I'm going with one guy only. The guy who I thought should have won it last year, TJ Watt. He had the most sacks, the most QB pressures, the most tackles for loss out of everybody in the league. I think he got snubbed for it last year, and I think they're going to make up for it this year, and I think they're going to give it to him. He's balling out. I think this year is his last year. Next year will be his contract year. So this year, this year's his contract year. Next year is his extension. Like, he's fighting for his contract this year. He's probably going to set the market for edge rushers. I think that's pretty, easy to say.
That's kind of a gimme.
Yeah. The Steelers' defensive line is good enough where he can't really be double teamed. They can't afford to double team him because just of how good they are in general. So I think TJ Watt's going to have another big year.
Absolutely.
Could even see possibly setting a sack record because it's an extra game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of records are going to be broke this year, and I think TJ Watt can definitely do it.
I think that argument could be used for any of the guys we said. Myles Garrett, Chase Young, all the teams that have really good defenses and defensive line specifically, to where it's kind of hard to focus on one guy because then you got 2-3 other guys down the line that are going to be getting pressure, getting sacked. So it's going to be hard to scheme and block against all these guys. So, I mean, I think it's kind of it could be a toss-up if it's these three. Moving on, Offensive Player of the Year. This is kind of a toss-up for me. I only went one guy here. This is for between two guys, Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara for me. I'm going to have to go with Alvin Kamara, though. Alvin Kamara played a huge part in that offense when Drew Brees was there, when Drew Brees was hurt. They got Jameis Winston under center this year. Alvin Kamara gets a lot of touches, still got the same coach, not much change outside of the quarterback. So, I mean, Alvin Kamara is still going to have much of an impact on the offense. He was killing it in fantasy and in the league before he got COVID. Missed a game, missed a couple weeks, battled some injuries, battled COVID, so he kind of fell off. But Alvin Kamara gets a lot of touches, he catches a lot of passes, he runs the ball a lot. Alvin Kamara definitely was in the conversation last year before injuries and stuff. He's usually in the conversation every year. He's a top running back in the league, so I mean, look for him to come out and get Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just because, I mean, he has to step up. Drew Brees is gone.
Yeah.
He's the offense now, him and Michael Thomas. But I'll go with a guy who could also be a comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey. He's battled injuries last year, but Christian McCaffrey, he's the #1 fantasy running back of the past 3 years. Not last year because of his injuries, but Christian McCaffrey can literally do everything, and he has been doing everything for the Panthers. I mean, it used to be Kyle Allen, and now it's Christian McCaffrey. Great receiver, great runner. Could also see maybe a Derrick Henry running it back. Who knows? I think he's going to be unleashed this year because you got Julio, you got A.J. Brown. You can't stack the box anymore because they're going to air it out. Derrick Henry's going to have open lanes, but I'm going to give this to Christian McCaffrey. He deserves it. I think he's going to make it happen.
I like that one. Can I just say one thing? Dwight Howard sucks. He let Gallinari get a rebound over him. Watching the Sixers, and they're probably going to lose. Moving on, though. Coach of the Year. Gallinari sucks, by the way. Coach of the Year. This could be a lot of different guys. There's a lot of coaches. I mean, what's the Bills coach name? I always forget his name. Sean McDermott. Could be Sean McDermott. He's been a finalist, I think, 3 out of the past 4 years for Coach of the Year. Hasn't won it. But for me, I think this is going to be Brian Flores. I mean, Miami was up there last year, barely missed the playoffs. This year, their team's fully loaded now. I mean, Tua's kind of a question mark, but from what they've been saying in training camp, that he's gotten a lot smarter. He's been developing. So if Tua performs, I think Miami, I don't think they'll be competing with Buffalo or New England for the division, but I mean, I definitely think they could sneak in the playoffs. So Brian Flores, he built the team. He's real good.
You think New England's better than Miami?
It was sarcasm. I was waiting for your reaction. So I kept looking at you.
Like the gears were spinning. I was like,
that's why I looked at you for
a
reaction. But no, I think Miami could be up there competing for the division. I think they're good for 10, 11 wins this year. They have one of the best rosters on paper.
Had 10 last year.
Revamped the receiving core. So, I mean, I think this could be them or another guy. I think this could be the Chargers coach, Brandon Staley, I think his name is. First-year head coach. He's getting Derwin James back healthy. Hopefully Joey Bosa can stay healthy. Had a very good first draft. Got Asante Samuel Jr. and what's his name? Rashawn Slater. If you want more on the Chargers, podcast link in the description. Be sure to check it out. You don't want to miss. Went through the most improved teams in the offseason. Go check it out. Show some love. Give us a listen. Rate us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple. All our links in our description. Keep showing us some love. YouTube, podcasts, all that stuff. Keep showing us love. But yeah, Brandon Staley for the Chargers. He's walking into an amazing situation. Got his franchise guy in Justin Herbert. He invested heavily in the offensive line. Used a first-round pick on Rashawn Slater, arguably the best tackle in the class. Got Corey Linsley, made him the highest-paid center in the league. Got Asante Samuel, help out that secondary. I mean, the Chargers, Brandon Staley's walking into a very, very good situation. As long as they can stay healthy, I think the Chargers could be competing for a playoff spot. I don't think they'll compete with Kansas City in the division just because how good the Chiefs are. But the Chargers are going to be competitive this year and the years to come.
Yeah, so my coach of the year, could see both of those guys, but kind of went on a bold route again. Cliff Kingsbury out of Arizona. We mentioned it on a hot seat video. He could definitely, kind of be on that hot seat, but I think the Cardinals are going to take a step forward this year. Like I said, I'm very high on the Cardinals. I think they could definitely be a 12-win team, possibly. I know they're in a stacked division, but I think Kyler Murray is going to take that step forward. And if they come out horrible, it's going to be a very bad look for me.
Yep.
Oh, well. Rather be bold and wrong than to just, roll with the...
I guess.
You know what I mean? But
yep. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I believe in the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray's going to take that step forward. Big fan. Oklahoma guy. The offense is revamped. Cliff Kingsbury brought in a lot of veteran good guys to this team. J.J. Watt, A.J. Green. He was a big part of it. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For a second-round pick. I think, and this is like the first year that Kyler Murray and D-Hop have been together all summer. I mean, last year was a shortened COVID summer.
Yeah.
Now they're going to click. Now you're going to see a lot of these teams kind of start clicking, especially with rookie receivers. But yeah, I think D-Hop and Kyler Murray are going to have a big year this year. They're going to click in this offseason, and they're going to just take the step forward.
Just throw it out there. Gallinari couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Couldn't hit the water standing in a boat.
Terrible. Where are we at? Comeback player of the year. This, for me, there's 4 guys in particular, but I think this could be a lot of guys. There was so many injuries.
Like right now, that's a no.
Not going to argue. Comeback player of the year. There's just some other guys. This could be guys like Nick Bosa, coming off an injury. Ryan's guy, Christian McCaffrey, who he set for Offensive Player of the Year. But the 4 guys that come to mind, Joe Burrow, Dark Horse MVP, Comeback Player of the Year. Dak Prescott, who's probably the consensus favorite. I'm sure if you took a poll or if you look at the early predictions right now, Dak Prescott's probably the favorite. Saquon Barkley, another guy who I have very high hopes for this year, like I did last year. He's coming off an ACL tear, trying to earn that contract extension. They picked up his 5th-year option, so he's got to come out and prove himself to be the best running back in the league, how he is. And the guy who Ryan said no to, Odell Beckham Jr. Ryan's not a fan. I'm a fan. I think any of these guys could win Comeback Player of the Year. Again, this is just an early prediction. We'll see what happens, but those 5 guys, I think this award's gonna be toss up this year, honestly.
Yeah, there was a lot of people injured last year, sadly. And for my Comeback Player of the Year, I went from my Dak Prescott. I feel like quarterbacks have an edge in all these awards just because quarterbacks do more. They tend to do more. Dak Prescott's coming onto an offense that's potentially going to be a top 10 offense. That's being generous. Yeah. They got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott,
Michael Gallup,
a top 10 O-line.
Blake Jarwin.
They should air the ball out.
Back, Dalton Schultz.
Throw the ball around the yard.
Sorry.
The defense isn't great, so that's going to allow Dak Prescott to have to throw the ball around the yard, and I think he will. And I think he's going to be Comeback Player of the Year. I think that's pretty easy to say. He had a very gruesome injury.
Very ugly.
Very ugly. And I think he's going to bounce back and be Comeback Player of the Year. I hope. Offensive Rookie.
Offensive Rookie of the Year. Trevor Lawrence. Enough said. Another guy I could see, Jaylen Waddle. I think him and Tua, I think if they click, the connection could be unreal. I think Jaylen Waddle, his upside, he could have a Justin Jefferson type rookie year, I feel like. But I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence, my guy. Not going to argue, enough said.
Yeah, this is usually a quarterback award, so Trevor Lawrence should definitely be the favorite in that. Considering Justin Fields might not even start week 1. Yeah. Zach Wilson is in a horrible situation. The best situation is probably Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quarterback
I don't
most
even know
likely.
Trey Lance will be starting.
Yeah, he's probably got the best team around him. But
Oh, yeah, but I mean, we don't know if he'll be starting though.
so most likely, yeah, it's a quarterback award. But I'll throw in a skill position player, Najee Harris. I think he's going to get the ball a ton this year. I think they're just going to run him into the dirt, keep giving him the ball, and I think he's my dark horse.
Najee Harris doesn't have an offensive line to block for him, so that's a hard no for me.
He's getting the touches. Jalen Waddle don't have a quarterback to throw to him, so we're not arguing. Next.
Move on to the final award, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I thought about this one a lot. This was the last one I did when I was taking notes. But for
You used
me,
to be a hater on this guy.
I'm still not that big on this guy, but I think that he's probably one of the favorites for the award. Jamin Davis. Like, I'm very high on Washington football team and their defense. They're going to have the best defense in the league. Jamin Davis is only linebacker in that room. He's going to come in, start right away. Mike Backer for Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera's coached guys like Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis. He's coached elite linebackers before. Jamin Davis is going to come in. He's got a very good secondary. Got a very good defensive line with him. I mean, I think he's in a very good situation. He's got veterans on defense. They have a young team. Ron Rivera is a very good coach. So I could see as being Jamin Davis, a linebacker. You don't particularly really see linebackers win this award. Darius Leonard won it a few years back. I
feel
mean,
like defense is kind of more equal.
yeah,
Anybody
it's
can
a
really
fair
win
shot.
it. Corners not really, just because
It's tough.
you have to be super good.
Yeah. I mean, maybe J.C. Horn, because he's going to be starting right away. Teams are going to be trying to test him. Maybe J.C. Horn. But, I mean, Jalen Phillips could also be another guy. He could come out. If he has a year like Chase Young did last year, he'll probably get it easily. This defensive one, kind of a toss-up. There's a lot of defensive players that got drafted that are going to be starting and they have a shot at this award. But my favorite's Jamin Davis for me.
Yeah, and I'd go my guy, Micah Parsons out of Dallas. I think it's going to be a linebacker. There was a good, fair amount of linebackers drafted. There was also a good bit of edge rushers. So I think it's going to be somebody in the front seven, and I'm going Micah Parsons, the highest defensive player off the board. I think Dallas' defense ain't nothing great. The run defense is pretty bad. So Micah Parsons is going to be there. He's going to get a lot of tackles. I also think he might be able to get a couple picks, but the tackles are going to be there. I think the sacks might even be there.
Yeah, I mean, Micah Parsons, he's an athletic freak of nature. If Dan Quinn uses him right, he could be a jack-of-all-trades defensive guy.
I hope so. And
See ball, hit ball, that's what Micah Parsons, that's where he'll thrive the most. So.
talk about a bad defense, the Cowboys. Talk about a player that needs to show up and is in the middle. Micah Parsons, he's going to be there for a lot of plays. He's either going to show up or he's not.
Yeah, I mean, you guys' linebacker core could be pretty good. Leighton Vander Esch in the middle, Jalen Smith, Micah Parsons on the outside, Keanu Neal playing hybrid. I mean, linebacking core on paper is
Sounds
really
like
good.
Jalen Smith is going to turn into an edge rusher. Or
It sounds like Jalen Smith was getting shopped on draft night, so
Yes.
he's probably gone. He's getting paid like he's the best in the league, and he's not.
Correct.
But I think it's going to wrap this one up. We touched on all the awards.
Be sure to check out our other exclusive segment where we talked about who's on the hot seat in the upcoming season. Also, be sure to check out the podcast where we talk about teams that have improved or have regressed.
Teams that have improved and disimproved, as I said. Show us some love. Keep showing us love. Like I said on the video, Tuesday, if you didn't catch it, 200 subscriber giveaway. We'll be giving away 4 jerseys of 4 different people. Details will be coming soon on that, so stay tuned. Keep showing us love, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday probably.
See you.
Peace.